Hi, I'm Deb. I run a little group called the Traveling Psychic Supper Club. We're in Austin, Texas. I do tarot readings and I also do regular readings. Recently, somebody asked me to give an example of how I do a tarot reading. So this is it. I had a friend in town and I gave her a reading and we filmed it. So I hope you enjoy it. If you watch and leave a comment, please be nice because this is my very first video. Thank you. Okay, so this is an example of how I do a reading. This is Deborah. I am the Traveling Psychic, and I've had some people ask me how I read. My readings are very specific to me. A lot of people use the traditional meanings of tarot. I use tarot a little bit differently. I use some of the historical meaning, some personal meaning to me, and some personal meaning to the person I'm reading. So this is my friend. She is shuffling the cards. I just tell people shuffle them however you want. And when they're done, we start the reading. If a card ever flies out while we're shuffling, I will put them to the side and we'll pull that card later. It's usually relevant to the reading. And my friend likes to take a really long time to shuffle the cards. Okay. I always take the deck and cut it 3 different times, and you pick the deck we use. These other 2 will not be used. I don't use a traditional layout or a traditional spread. I just pull cards until I feel like we're done. And although it's off the screen, I'm going to put it to the side. I usually top the reading with one card that kind of goes to the side to show that it's ending the reading. I'm going to pull these down and then I'm going to start. I do read inverted. Some people don't, but I do because I think it's always relative to the reading. So this is past, present, and future. So what this says to me is that there's been a concern about money. To me, sometimes this card can actually be generational. So this card is an opportunity for growth in money. So Pentacles being money, an opportunity for growth. The ability is in hand, but there's a constant concern about money always. That's what this card says to me. Whenever I read this, a lot of times I will turn a card right side up because something else in the reading will show what needs to happen to make that card right side up. So right now, though, the Page of Pentacles is upside down. I'm just going to turn it right side so that we can see it properly. Can you see okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Page of Pentacles, Pentacles have been, again, being money. The page being a young person or someone that is just starting out on their journey. The hand is extended and the pentacle falls in easily. So money is readily available and easy to come by. However, this card was turned upside down. So what this says to me is that some old thoughts about money need to be released. So possibly some old generational thoughts about money need to be released. I'm going to go ahead and turn this right side up because there is an opportunity for a ton of growth. This water here is flowing easily. these blooms are bright. It's all through the voice. You're ready to be heard. And it's so easy that you don't even have to look. The money is just coming into the hand. This feather to me says creativity. And this is interesting because this is just a misprint on this card, but that to me almost looks like a globe would look, like a
like a continent.
Yeah, on a globe. So it kind of says the world's your oyster. Using your creativity and your voice. This is extended up here again, the Ace of Pentacles. The money has come into hand. Some choppy waters a little bit. To me, this says there's some continued release that needs to happen. Like the old thoughts about money just need to go. So that's that card. The Hermit, being upside down, I think I might go back to this later, but I'll go ahead and explain what the Hermit says to me is a need for the Hermit always is like a gestation period. Like something, this guy needs to have a little bit of a rest before all this other stuff can grow. Okay. So the Hermit always means kind of coming in, contemplative. He's got the light, but kind of maybe some things need to happen before he's ready to go give his light to the world. And that one was upside down too. So this also specifically to this reading means take the time to rest. Like you always have to take care of yourself first. This also to me, because like what I hear when I'm doing this is like in an airplane, you have to put on your mask before you can help anybody else. That's what this says. Like just remember to take care of yourself, take your time that you need without worrying about anybody judging it. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And this is really kind of right in the center. So, and it's right next to the Strength card that is up here. So that'll be relative in a minute. So I'm gonna leave the cards that were upside down. I'm gonna turn them right side up because it's like, you know what you need to do now. So that's kind of, this is past, present, now we're looking at future. Pentacles again, Hermit being able to rest keeps things balanced. I love this card because it's super balanced. The Moon here, Moon is to me always psychic or intuitive gift, or I hate to use the word gift, but ability, skill. It's here too, saying this is going to be present in like your work moving forward. This is a great card for future because you're moving up. Like 5 is like halfway in the middle, 6 is moving up. But it's saying just if you can keep all this going good, especially the Hermit, everything can be balanced for you. Okay. And you're moving up in money. Like here, the money's coming in. Here, it's in hand. If you can keep yourself always making sure that you're sustainable, balanced, the balance moves forward into the future. 7 of Cups, I'm going to turn it right side up just so that you can see it. That, to me, the 7 of Cups always means you can choose. You've got so many different paths and they're all overflowing. Like so Cups is love. Pentacles is money. Cups is love. Also family. But do you see how everything is rightfully in its place, but also like this is ready for a ton of growth. And kind of all bases covered is what I hear with this too. Careful of the snake, right in the middle. Okay. And I think that kind of goes back to the Hermit, but I also want to notice that the snake is looking at the devil. But the sun is above the snake. So to me, the sun is always the Strength card, which is also above this card as well. So that's important. Knowing that you have so many different directions you can move in, but you'll know exactly which one. But there are many opportunities here on this card, and it's all done in love. 4 of Rods. So this card, I'm going to turn it right side because again, turning these things right side shows that you know what you need to do moving forward. Also, I want to mention that upside down or inverted is half power to me. So it's kind of like, okay, you don't want this at half power. You want to pull this and turn it right side up. Four of Rods. This is, to me, like a celebration card. So rods, to me, are ideas, creativity. That's how I read that. And the home is kind of, the way that I read this is like a travel card. You've got, what I hear in my head is home is where the heart is. So you've always got your home, and all roads lead back to home. But this looks to me like you're looking at this place from afar. So no matter where you are, you've always got a home. And this also says to me, no matter where you are, you're at home. Do you understand? So what's over this? The devil. The devil, I'm going to turn it right side. To me, the devil is always addiction, or someone that is in a bad place of feeling chained. To me, this specifically, because it's over near this card, this is someone that is kept kind of unbalanced due to past experience. Someone that feels like they're not heard. I've never seen this on this card before, but someone that feels that they are not heard. Someone that feels that, and anger because of it. But he holds the chain. So it's like this individual is keeping themselves unheard. They're keeping themselves in a place where there is no growth. And that directly affects the Strength card. Okay, so this is over the home as well. So this is, it's interesting too, because looking at this card a little bit closer, it's almost like this person doesn't know who they are, because there's scales, there's claws, there's also this weird hair, and it's also a human-like card. Like there's many different things being displayed here, but not a true sense of self. Okay, this speaks to this card. So the devil, when the devil is upside down on himself, that keeps the Strength card held back too. So to me, this is you. When she's right side up, she has everything that she needs. Okay, she doesn't even have to open her eyes. The infinity symbol is above her, and she is everything that she could possibly need. There's crazy growth happening here. The Leo is important. And the Leo wears the victory wreath. So and even the veil, I think, speaks personally. The Strength card is she has everything that she needs and will not be held back. There is a concern because the Chariot is similar to the Six of Pentacles, always in balance. To turn it right side up is only appropriate. This is a warning. So this, and it starts kind of right here. If the devil stays over the home and keeps the Strength card back, to me, the Chariot is the travel. There is no Chariot. Do you see it's upside? But so if the devil stays over the home, the Strength card will stay. And she's also looking to she's facing the past. The lion is not able to be tamed. There is no victory. So I'm going to turn it here. But in the case that she turns right side, the Chariot turns right side. And so this is only looking forward, right? The Chariot has, so to me, swords are logic, intellect, but also aggression. So he has that in hand. He doesn't, and it's not like, he's looking forward as well. And he's also got the sun in this corner. Do you see the sun here? Is here as well. So he's ready to go. He's ready to move, and he's got his hawk behind him. So he's not only got his own set of eyes, he's got another set of eyes from above. So to me, that says something like a guide. Or, and do you see how he's got his wing? It's like they're one, okay? This goes right back to this. Being upside down, always, this can come up again and again, this concern about money. But if these two things are doing what they should be doing, this is no need. This is also above the devil, which is an interesting where he is located, because Four of Pentacles is, he's got more than enough. There's more than enough growth here, but he's holding on to money. He's like, there's a fear. And that directly, so to me, this directly goes back to almost like past generational stuff with this individual, okay? Concern there. I'm going to turn it right side up though, because that's appropriate with these all being turned right side up. Okay, in the case that these are not turned right side up, this kind of goes back to this. And here's the Four of Rods and the Four of Swords. So to me, that is almost like these cards mirror themselves. So it's kind of like, if this isn't taken care of, then this is what can happen, okay? But it also looks to me, what I hear is like nail in the coffin. This card, I'll kind of speak a little bit to what it actually is. This is, again, like a resting card. Interesting that it's over the Hermit as well. In the place that it is in the reading, it says to me, this is the last straw. Like, the last straw has been had. It also means something like a pattern being released. A lot of chaos here. The fight takes place, but moving forward, it I don't really know how to explain this. What I'm trying to say, in where it is, it almost looks like this person chose to lay down the fight. Like, this is too hard. And he even took his sword with him. This to me kind of looks like a releasing of past issues. And coming out of it, there's a vulnerability. You know, the Page is young. The Page, here's the Page here of Pentacles. Here's the Page of Swords. So the Page has his sword like this. So he's kind of not super sure going forward. So this is, to me, the way that these two are laid out to each other. This one is moving forward with trepidation, but learning having taken something from this altercation. Okay, moving forward alone. Do you see? Mm-hmm. It to me almost like the moon is kind of like a skewer, like almost like a when you put meat on a skewer. Mm-hmm. That kind of is what that feels like. Like, I'm taking this along with me. Very guarded, different feeling, and also being above the strength. This is almost like coming new out of a battle, but with knowledge, because it's facing the Magician. The Magician has everything that he needs and is well aware of it. Like, the Magician has everything at his disposal, all the four suits, the sword, the cup of love, the pentacle being money, and the rod in hand, but also on the table. Like, this one is fully developed. Do you see here it is here? Mm-hmm. How the Hermit has to kind of come in to develop, pull in energy to develop. Here it's fully developed. And the Magician, again, here is that infinity sign over the head. And he's pointing above and below. So he's got the knowledge, he's got the strength, but also the past knowledge, and is moving forward. So Two of Rods, to me, this says moving forward on a couple of different ideas. This is, the concern for me though, is that it's looking backwards. I don't know if that's looking to the Magician or if that's looking back to the past. Because right here it's concerning because there's a little bit of choppy water. The three, this to me kind of is symbolic here because the three columns mirror the three swords. So this might be knowledge. This person's got a couple of good ideas in their moving forward. The concern also though is that this to me looks like snake's tongue. So I'm actually gonna leave that like that, and I'm gonna pull because I want clarity. I'm not crazy about these cards. Let's pull these down. So but this kind of makes sense. This goes back. There's swords left behind, and there's. Do you see how this kind of mirrors this? Two moving forward. This kind of to me says a little bit of confusion. The psychic moon is there, guarded again. Here's this, like he's a little bit older, he's a little bit wiser, still very much with the chainmail, very guarded. These two cards are really similar, but they're both looking to the past. So to me, in moving forward with this, it says, don't look back. Like don't, this, especially with this and this, like you cannot keep looking back, because that keeps this guy from doing what he needs to do. So the Hierophant is, some people read it differently. They read it kind of like a pope or like a priest. Some people see it as a marriage, but because there's no cards similar to that around it, I feel like this is moving forward in a direction with knowledge, but like a higher knowledge. Very confident because the face is looking straight forward. But this Five of Rods annoys me because this is kids fighting. This is 5. So going back to this is just, to me, this also can be a lot of judgment. This is immaturity. This is, and you know what you have to do, but you can't pay attention to all that. This to me is family. Inner bickering. And I think this also can be work related. So I really hate to keep throwing cards out, but, and that's not a good one to get after this card, because everything can come down. But it's only at half power, so it might not be as bad as it could be. Okay. The Tower being at half power. Actually, let me turn it right side up. The Tower can be either a positive card or a negative card. These cards around it show that if you fall into this, there might be like a falling down of a bunch of different stuff. But let's see what happens here. You come out victorious. Now looking the other direction. Look, and this is travel again as well. And having, so not just 2 rods here, but more to choose from, and the correct idea is held in hand. So this is interesting because it looks like repeated patterns until a lesson is learned. Because here's the house here, here's the devil on top of it. Here's this, and then here's that. They're all rods, but they're all upside down. More than enough ideas to choose from, taking one in hand, moving forward. So this guy's facing backwards, but in actuality, this is a good card of moving forward because this shows, I think it's interesting in reference to the Chariot, because this card is, I'm ready to move forward with my idea. So I think that one of the things that is really relative here too is that not to let other ideas get in the way of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, I don't normally do this, but if you can let other people's problems not get in the way of the direction you're moving, we can literally take all this out. Because this is patterns. If you can get the pattern here and not continue forward with this card,
Mm-hmm.
all this can go away. Picking, like, having your voice over everybody else's and moving forward with what you know you're supposed to do. Do you have any questions?
I don't. I don't. The cards that we removed from in the middle helped kind of clear everything up because it's distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like cleared it all up for me.
Yeah. Like if you can get the lesson here, you don't have to do this again.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of interested that those cards weren't in my past. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like those are past cards, but to see that they came out in the pattern that they did from past into future, like it's just a warning for me now.
Yeah.
So I can't, once I start to see distraction, I can't fall into distraction and just go around it or above it and then choose, like you said here, or not choose, but let my thoughts and ideas be heard so that I can be successful.
And this is this almost, I wonder how many cards are here. Nine cards. So this is almost like saying, let this card take the place of all this.
Mm-hmm.
And just see it neutrally, not as all this up and down, but just, I'm hearing a lot of people's voices, I'm getting a lot of input from everywhere else, I need to listen to my own, and then I know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because this actually is this grown up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rod. And there was page cards, like page here, there's a page in here. The best thing to focus on is rods, because look, now that I've taken all that stuff out, here's rods and pentacles. So career and ideas. Yeah, taking all this out, this is a much clearer reading.
I'm processing.
Mm-hmm.
And it all coincides with what's going on right now. And like even the past things with these being here.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that this was explained is all relative. But this is my goal.
Yeah. That's why I feel like pulling all that out, it makes it simple.
It's funny when when we were looking over those cards and the explanations being told, I actually was feeling static. Like I don't feel like, I feel like this is all before I knew what the cards meant.
Mm-hmm.
This is complete static. And that's kind of how things have been going, like just to completely remove things and like knowing my own strengths in recent events is only going to keep me going where I need to go. So in like learning the lessons like from the Hermit or being the Hermit has helped me want to push all of those cards or all of those actual physical things out so that I can get back on my path.
Well, and if you look at it too, these cards all being on top of each other like this, balance, picking what you're supposed to do, gives you strength to go forward with your idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I'll take that.
And leave this.
I'll leave that. That can go.
Yeah, that can.
I'll keep that.
And I even was like, this can go too. Like that can go right up there too.
But that's part of my past and part of my concerns and part of my worries. It's been part of my path.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the pattern.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
Bye. Bye-bye.
peace, out of here. Okay, so that's your reading. It was a long one.
It was a good one, though.
That was a long one. But
it's all relative and it all makes complete sense to me.
Yeah. So that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.